Chosen one, do not move. Whatever you are about to open next, let it wait, because the next few minutes were arranged for you before this week even began. This Thursday will be the best day of your life, and I need you to understand that this is not encouragement. It is not a wish. It is something that was already decided in a room you have never been allowed to enter. The reason so many good days have already come to you and somehow never landed. The reason your calendar feels like the same grey morning printed over and over is not that God has been withholding good from you. It is that something inside you that was built to receive it has been quietly turned down. Dimmed, not broken. Dimmed, and this Thursday is the day it gets turned back up. Before you decide whether to stay, ask yourself one honest question. If your best day has been standing at your door the whole time, and the only thing missing was your ability to receive it, would you want to know exactly how it gets repaired? Stay with me. If you feel this landing already, hold that feeling. Before we go any further, I want you to do something. Leave a comment right now and write the word ready. This is not just a comment, this is your covenant with heaven. When you type ready, you are telling God that you are prepared to receive what He has been holding for you. Do it now. Type ready and let heaven know that you are serious about what this Thursday carries. I want to speak to the exhaustion first, not the loud kind. The quiet kind that sits behind your ribs when you wake up and realize the day ahead looks exactly like the one behind you have done the mornings. You have done the prayers. You have done the being strong for people who never once asked how you were holding up. And somewhere along the way, the days stopped feeling like days. They started feeling like copies. Ecclesiastes chapter 1 verse 4 says one generation passes away and another generation comes, but the earth abides forever. The preacher was describing the feeling of a life that moves but does not arrive. That sensation of sameness is not evidence that nothing is happening. It is evidence that you have been receiving on a channel that has slowly gone quiet. There is a difference between a life where nothing good is being sent and a life where good is being sent constantly and cannot find a way in. Almost no one is living the first one. Far more of you are living the second one and calling it the first, because from the inside they feel identical. Chosen one, you are not a person nothing works for. You are a person whose receiver has been turned down so gradually that you learn to call the silence normal. Right now, before we go deeper, I want you to do 3 things. Hit the like button so this word finds every chosen one who needs it today. Subscribe so you never miss what heaven is releasing through this channel. And then come back. Because what comes next is the part that changes everything. Jeremiah chapter 29 verse 11 says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." The word plans in the Hebrew means plans already formed, already settled, already written before the season that would bring them to life had even begun. When I say this Thursday was decided, I mean it in that exact sense. Not that a good mood is scheduled, something deeper, a convergence. A moment where the thing that has been slowly repaired in you finally crosses the line into working, and the good that has been trying to reach you for longer than you know finally has somewhere to land. I want to name the 2 clocks you live under. Most people only know one clock. It measures how long you have waited, how old you are getting, how many seasons have passed, while the thing you wanted stayed out of reach. That clock is real. But it is not the clock God schedules by. There is a second clock. It does not measure duration. It measures readiness. In the Greek of the New Testament, the first was Kronos, ordinary time. the ticking and grinding forward of ordinary days. The second was Kairos, appointed time, a door that opens not because enough hours have passed, but because a specific alignment has arrived. Acts chapter 1, verse 7 says it is not for you to know the times or dates the Father has set by his own authority. Times and dates, Kronos and Kairos. He holds both. You have been reading your life by Kronos, which is why you feel late. But God has been moving you the entire time on Kairos, which is why you are not late at all. You are almost exactly on time. Type 2 words in the comments. Type not late, because there is a moment in every awakening where you have to say the true thing with your own hands before your heart will believe it. I need you to stop here for a moment. If you have felt the weight of that ordinary clock, if you have been counting the years and feeling behind, type 2 words right now in the comments. Type on time. You are declaring to heaven that the second clock has been moving this whole time, and your day is still coming. Type on time and seal it. Picture 2, people receiving the exact same gift on the exact same day. One experiences it as the best day of their life. The other barely registers it and forgets it by evening. What is the difference? It is not the gift. The difference is entirely inside the one receiving. One had the capacity to take it in. The other had a receiver so dimmed that the gift passed through them like light through a fogged window present. Real, unfelt, a best day is not primarily an event that happens to you. It is a reception that happens in you. Before we go further, if this message is already speaking to something deep inside you, if you feel something stirring in your chest, please consider supporting this channel. There is a link in the description below and pinned in the comments. It is a small act that carries enormous spiritual weight. When you pour into something that pours into you, you open a channel of reciprocity between yourself and heaven. Every contribution, no matter how small, tells the universe you are ready to receive. Check the description and the comments for that link whenever you feel moved. Now, let us continue. You were not born dimmed. Watch a child on an ordinary afternoon. A child can receive a completely normal day as if it were the greatest day that has ever occurred. A puddle, a cardboard box, a patch of sunlight on the floor. The child is receiving with a faculty that is fully awake. You had that once. Every single person listening had that once. And then, slowly, it was turned down. Not by one event, by the accumulated weight of a way of living that rewards you for numbing, for pushing through, for feeling less so you can produce more. Disappointment taught you to expect less so that less would hurt less. Responsibility taught you to override what you felt so you could keep functioning. Each of those was survival, so I will not shame a single one of them. But the cumulative effect is a receiver that sits at a fraction of the setting it was born at. What I have been describing is not who you are. It is a setting. And the moment you can name a thing as a setting instead of a self, you have already begun to reach for the dial. Some of you have been told before that you could feel more, receive more, come alive again. You tried. It did not hold. You did the gratitude practices. You did the morning routines, and for a few days something lifted, and then the receiver dimmed right back down, and you decided the problem was you. I want to gently take that verdict out of your hands. The practices were not wrong. They were aimed at the wrong layer. The dimming is not in your thoughts, it is underneath them. In the faculty that receives before any thought arrives. You cannot think your way to a turned-up receiver. And there is something else. Something keeps turning the dial back down every time you reach for it. And for years you assumed that something was you. So every time the light came up for a few days and then faded, You added it to the case against yourself. You built an entire quiet courtroom in your chest, and you lost every single session. I am here to tell you the courtroom was rigged. 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 8 says, "Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary the devil walks about like a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour." Seeking, not sleeping, active, focused, targeting. There is an interference that specifically targets people who are close to waking up. It does not waste its energy on people who are already asleep and content to stay asleep. It concentrates on the ones who are stirring, because those are the ones whose awakening actually costs it something. If you have felt an unusual heaviness precisely when you were closest to breaking through, that is not weakness. That is evidence. Interference goes where the treasure is. You do not fight for a locked and empty room. You fight for the vault. The pressure on your life has been a measure of what is inside it. You have spent years believing you were the problem, and in the space of a few sentences, you have been shown that you were the target. A problem gets fixed, a target gets defended, and you are about to learn how to be defended. Right now, in the comments, I need you to declare something. Type the words, "Not my fault," not with arrogance, with the simple truth of someone who finally understands that the hand that kept reaching for your dial was never yours. Type "Not my fault" and release yourself from the courtroom you have been sitting in for years. Do it now. Let me give you the signs that a Kairos moment is near. I suspect you have been feeling several of them without knowing what they meant. The first sign is a strange and specific restlessness. Not the restlessness of boredom, a deeper one. A sense that something is about to shift even though nothing on the outside has changed. A low hum of anticipation underneath, even your tired days. If you have felt that, that is not anxiety. That is your spirit reading the second clock. The second sign is that the old ways of coping stop working. The numbing that used to get you through starts to fail. The distractions lose their grip. This unsettles people, and they read it as decline. It is the opposite. When an appointed time approaches, the coping mechanisms fail on purpose because you cannot walk through the door with your hands full of the old survival. They fail so your hands will be empty enough to receive. Isaiah chapter 43, verses 18 and 19 says, "Forget the former things. Do not dwell on the past. See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? I am making a way in the wilderness." Notice he says, "Do you not perceive it?" Not have you not received it yet. Perception comes first. The new thing is already springing up. The question is whether your receiver is turned up enough to perceive it. The third sign is that your dimming becomes visible to you, which is precisely what has been happening in these very minutes. You start to notice the grayness as grayness instead of as reality, that suspicion is not despair. It is the third sign. You cannot turn a dial back up until you can see that it was turned down, and the fact that you can finally see it means the turning is close. You thought those signs were evidence of falling apart. They are signs of arriving. The very symptoms you have been reading as decline are the standard signature of an appointed time drawing near. If this word is reaching something in you that has not been reached in a long time, take 5 seconds right now. Hit the like button, subscribe to this channel, share this with one person whose receiver has been dimmed. You may not know why they need it today. Heaven does. The like takes 1 second. The share could change a life. Do it now and then come right back. You have been in a season where prayer felt like talking into a wall, where you showed up to God faithfully and heard mostly silence. And somewhere along the way you drew a conclusion that the silence was rejection, that he had moved. that he was perhaps present for other people, but somehow distant from you specifically. Let me tell you about a woman who described exactly this. She had prayed for years and felt nothing, and had come to believe the silence was rejection. She was sincere. She had done the work, and then something shifted in the way she received. And she said the strangest thing. She said the prayers she had prayed for years, the ones that felt like talking into a wall, seemed to have been answered all along. Not newly answered, answered the whole time. She had been standing in the rain calling it a drought, because her skin had gone numb to water. Deuteronomy chapter 31, verse 6 says, "Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or terrified. For the Lord your God goes with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you." Never, not never, unless your receiver is too dim to feel me. Never. He was in the room the whole time. The faculty that hears was dimmed. This Thursday is not the day God finally shows up for you. It is the day you finally get to feel that he never once left. Sit with the difference, because it changes everything about how you will experience that day. If you believe God has been absent, then a best day requires him to finally arrive. But if he has been present the whole time and your receiver was dimmed, then a best day requires nothing to arrive. It only requires the dial to turn. And a dial turning is a far surer thing than an arrival you have to wait for. He is already here. He has always been here. Thursday is the day you can feel it. Let me show you why the good you already received never got to count. Because until you see this clearly, you will keep waiting for a bigger event to save you. A bigger event is not what you need. Think back over the last year of your life, not the hard parts, the good ones. There were good moments, a conversation that went well, a morning that started soft, a moment when someone looked at you with something like love. There were good moments, more than your memory admits, because here is the cruelty of the dimmed receiver. It does not only make the present feel grey, it edits the past. It goes back and drains the color out of the good you did receive, so that when you scan your own history for evidence that life can be good, you find a grey film over everything. When a good moment arrives and your receiver is dimmed, two things happen at once. First, you feel it faintly instead of fully, so the moment itself is diminished. But second, and this is the part that destroys people slowly, the moment does not get stored properly. A fully received experience lays down a deep track in you. You can return to it. It becomes part of the evidence your soul draws on when it decides whether the future is worth hoping for. A faintly received experience lays down almost nothing. It evaporates. So a dimmed person does not only suffer grey days, they accumulate no reserve of good to draw on, which means every new hard season hits them as if they have never been carried before. Lamentations, chapter 3, verses 22 and 23 say, "Because of the Lord's great love we are not consumed, for his compassions never fail. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness. The mercy is new every morning." But a dimmed receiver cannot log it. And what cannot be logged cannot be stored. And what cannot be stored cannot become the reserve that carries you through the next hard season. You have been living off an empty reserve while standing in a field that has been quietly feeding you the whole time. You are not a person who has received little. You are a person who has retained little. And those are completely different diagnoses with completely different cures. If you had received little, your only hope would be that the world finally gives you more. But if you have received much and retained little, then the cure is entirely inside your reach, because it is about repairing the retention. And here is the part that will make you sit up. When the receiver is restored, it does not only start capturing new good, it reaches back. People describe this again and again when their reception comes back online. They start remembering good that they had completely lost. A kindness from years ago suddenly returns with its color intact. A season they had filed under wasted reveals itself to have been full of provision they were too dim to log at the time. The restoration is not only forward, it is a recovery of a life you thought you never had. Let me make the dimming concrete in 3 specific places where it has been robbing you without your knowing. If you feel that this work has poured into your life and you want to pour something back, there is a link in the description below and pinned in the first comment where you can support this channel by sowing a seed. It does not have to be much. It is the heart behind it that matters. Your generosity seeds your own harvest. When you give into the work that speaks life into you, heaven takes notice. So if you feel led, go to that link now. Every offering is seen and honored. Now let us keep going, because Archangel Michael is not done. The first is the dread that arrives on an ordinary evening for no reason you can name. Nothing bad has happened, and yet a low heaviness settles over you. It is not the evening. It is the receiver, too dim to register the quiet goods that an evening holds. A restored receiver experiences that same evening as a gentle closing, even a sweetness. Same evening, the difference is entirely the dial. The second is the strange emptiness that follows the things that were supposed to make you happy. You reached a goal. You got the thing you worked for, and it landed flat. Nothing was wrong with you. The receiver was dim. The good was real, and it arrived and your faculty could not hold it. So it passed through you and left you standing in an achievement you could not feel. The third is the muted reunion. Someone you love comes back and you feel, at most, a fraction of what the moment deserves. And later, alone, you grieve quietly because you know you love them, and you could not feel it in the moment. Hear me carefully. You are not cold. You are not incapable of love. What is dim is not your love. It is your reception of your own love. 3 different faces of one dimmed receiver, and that is wonderful news. Because 3 separate problems would need 3 separate cures, but 3 faces of one condition need only one restoration. Turn the receiver back up, and all 3 change at once. For years you have been carrying what felt like a collection of separate failures, and now you can see it was never a collection of failures. It was one dimmed dial expressing itself in many rooms. Here is a question I want you to sit with. Why does knowing all of this still not produce the change on its own? Why can a person understand the dimming, name the interference, read the appointed clock, and still wake up grey on Monday? You have felt that before. The insight that thrilled you at night and evaporated by morning. There is a reason for it. And the reason is not that you are broken. The answer is not in your mind at all. The receiver is dimmed at a layer underneath your thoughts. That means no amount of thinking, believing, deciding, or understanding can turn it back up on its own. For the same reason, you cannot decide your way to a clearer view through a fogged window. Thought operates on one layer. The dimming lives on another. And every tool you were ever handed, the affirmations, the mindset work, the positive thinking, all of it operated on the thought layer, which is why all of it lifted you for a few days and then let you fall. It was never reaching the layer where the problem actually lives. Romans, chapter 5, verse 5 says, "And hope does not put us to shame, because God's love has been poured out into our hearts through the Holy Spirit, who has been given to us." The love of God is poured into the heart, not merely into the mind, into the place of reception, not only the place of reasoning. What changes the heart is not only what the mind agrees to, it is what the heart is finally open to receive. And the opening of the heart is not a thought. It is a grace. It is what happens on a Thursday set apart. It is what happens when the striving stops and the receiver breathes. It is what this Thursday holds for you. If you have lived any of those three, the evening dread, the flat achievement, the muted reunion, I want you to let this be the moment of recognition. Type 3 words right now in the comments. Type, I am waking, not I have arrived. I am waking. Because that is exactly what is happening as you receive this word. Heaven is marking this moment. Type, I am waking, and let it be sealed. On the Kairos clock, none of those hard years count against you the way you think. They were not delay. They were the convergence assembling. They were the readiness being built piece by piece until the door could open. The years of waiting turned your dial down far enough that you finally noticed it, which is the first requirement of turning it back up. The disappointments emptied your hands of every counterfeit source of strength, which is the second requirement. The exhaustion brought you to the end of your own effort, which is the third. On the Kronos clock you were falling behind. On the Kairos clock you were arriving. Same years, same events, completely different meaning depending on which clock you read them by. Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 3 says, for the revelation awaits an appointed time. It speaks of the end and will not prove false. Though it linger, wait for it. It will certainly come and will not delay. Not is delayed, will not delay. The appointed thing does not run late on its own schedule. It only appears late when you are reading it by the wrong clock. Why Thursday? Thursday has always carried a particular weight in the life of the Spirit. It is the day set apart, the day of rest and of rising, the day when ordinary labor stops and something is allowed to be received that the striving of the other 6 days crowds out. And that is precisely the condition a dimmed receiver needs in order to come back up. The dimming is fed by striving, by the endless producing and managing and pushing through. A day set apart from that striving is a day when the receiver has room to breathe. Genesis chapter 2 verse 3 says, then God blessed the seventh day and made it holy, because on it he rested from all the work of creating that he had done. Blessed and holy, not simply scheduled as a day off. The rest was God modeling for you the rhythm that keeps reception alive. One day in 7, when the dial gets a chance to come back up, you have been overriding that rhythm for years and paying for it with a receiver that never gets to recover. This Thursday you stop overriding it. You let the day be what it was always meant to be, and a receiver that has been longing for exactly this kind of rest responds to it faster than you would believe. Thursday is coming, and it was decided before this week even began. If you believe your appointed time is this Thursday, I need you to mark this moment. Type one word in the comments. Type Thursday. Let your declaration stand here so that when Thursday arrives and the gray fails to show up and the light reaches you all the way in, you can look back and see the moment you agreed with heaven before it happened. Type Thursday. A restored receiver does not only give you back your mornings and your relationships and your sense of God, it gives you back yourself. And there is a specific self waiting under the gray that you have forgotten. Is there? There is a version of you that sees, not sees in the ordinary way, but perceives underneath the surface of things, senses what is really happening in a room, in a person, in a season, before anyone has said a word. You had this as a child. You have called yourself naive or bad at reading people. None of that was ever true. You were not naive. You were dimmed. And when the receiver comes back up, the seeing comes back with it. There is another self, and this one carries something heavier and more sacred. You come from a line, and somewhere in that line there is a pattern of dimming that has repeated for generations. handed down from a parent who received it from a parent, each one turning the dial a little further and passing the lowered setting to the next, as if it were simply the family nature. And here is what the restoration makes you. It makes you the one in whom the pattern stops, the one who turns the dial back up and hands the next generation, not the gray they would have inherited, but the color you recovered. Malachi chapter 4, verse 6 says he will turn the hearts of the parents to their children, and the hearts of the children to their parents. You are that turning. You are the covenant point where the inheritance changes, and there is a third self. Everything you have suffered in the gray, every year the dimming cost you, every lonely morning and unanswered prayer. The restoration does not waste it. When your receiver comes back up and you walk out of the gray, you carry something that people who were never dimmed do not have. You know the country of the numb from the inside, and that knowing makes you able to reach people still trapped there in a way that no untouched person ever could. Your wound becomes a map. The very years you thought were stolen from you become the thing that qualifies you to lead others out. Joel chapter 2 verse 25 says, I will repay you for the years the locusts have eaten. Not I will try to make up for it. I will repay. The past is not erased. It is redeemed, taken up, and turned into the exact material of the self you were always meant to become. Right now, before we go into the blessing, I need you to do something. If you have seen yourself in any of those three selves, the one who sees, the cycle breaker, the wounded healer, do not let this moment pass unmarked. Hit the like button, subscribe so you never miss what God releases through this channel, and write in the comments which one felt most true for you. The seer, the cycle breaker, the wounded healer. Like, subscribe, and tell me below. Right now, before we enter the sacred space of the blessing, take one breath and do three things. Hit the like button because this word deserves to travel. Subscribe to this channel because what God is releasing here is not finished with you yet. And share this with someone whose best days have been dimming without their knowing it. One share from you could be the moment their dial begins to turn. Do it now. The blessing is waiting. I told you at the very beginning that before this message ended, I would speak something over your life. The moment has come before I speak it. Receive one truth about yourself that you have refused for years. You are not a burden. You are not too much. You are not the problem in the rooms you walk into. You have believed some version of that for a long time, because a dimmed receiver could not feel the evidence to the contrary. In the absence of felt evidence, the old accusation filled the silence, but the accusation was never true. It was only unopposed, and in this moment I am opposing it. If you have come this far and you feel the blessing beginning to land, take one moment before we close. Hit the like button. Subscribe so that every word heaven sends through this channel finds you. Share this with one person who has been standing in the rain calling it a drought. They need this word today. Do it now. Then come back for the final seal. Before we go further, if this message is already speaking to something deep inside you, if you feel something stirring in your chest, please consider supporting this channel. There is a link in the description below and pinned in the comments. It is a small act that carries enormous spiritual weight. When you pour into something that pours into you, you open a channel of reciprocity between yourself and heaven. Every contribution, no matter how small, tells the universe you are ready to receive. Check the description and the comments for that link whenever you feel moved. Now, let us continue. Now receive this. Chosen one, over your mind, I speak restoration. I speak the turning up of the dial that was turned down without your consent. I speak clarity where there has been fog, and reception where there has been that flat gray wall. And I declare that the faculty you were born with, the one that received an ordinary afternoon as if it were paradise, is coming back online in you. Not someday, in this season, beginning on the Thursday that was decided before the week began. Over your eyes, I speak sight. The deep seeing you had as a child and lost. I speak its return. You will begin again to know what is really happening before anyone tells you, because a restored receiver sees. And you were always one of the ones who sees over your heart. I speak the end of the numbness. I declare that the dial is being turned back toward the setting of your birth. The love that people have been offering you and you could not feel. I speak your capacity to feel it returning. The presence of God you concluded was absent. I speak your ability to perceive it coming back. And I tell you that on the day it returns, you will weep. And the weeping will not be grief. It will be reunion. Over your mornings, I speak a new default, no longer the gray that arrives before the day has earned it. I speak a morning that lands. I speak the light through your window reaching all the way in. And over this coming Thursday specifically, I speak the word this whole message has carried. I declare it an appointed day, not an ordinary square on a calendar. A door on the Kairos clock, a convergence long in the assembling, arriving now, because the readiness is finally complete. I speak that the good which has been trying to reach you for longer than you know will finally find a receiver able to hold it. And I declare without flinching that this Thursday will be the best day of your life, because for the first time in years, you will be present enough to know that it is over your calling. I speak the lifting of the fog. Your calling never disappeared. Your ability to perceive it dimmed. I speak the return of the quiet knowing, the certainty about what you are for, that you assumed was gone, and that was only obscured. You are not too late for your purpose. And over your bloodline, I speak the heaviest and most sacred word of all. I declare that the inheritance stops. I speak you as the one in whom the pattern breaks, not the one who receives the lowered dial and passes it on, but the one who turns it back up and hands to the ones who come after you not the gray they were owed, but the color you recovered. I seal you as a cycle breaker. Generations who will never know your name will live in a light that traces back to a decision you made in a tired season. When you finally understood that you did not have to pass the darkness on, I need you to seal the blessing over your bloodline with your own hands. Type 3 words in the comments right now. Type the line changes, not the line will change. The line changes, present tense, beginning here, beginning now with you. Because you are the one who woke up. You are the one who stayed through this whole message. You are the one who received instead of deflected. Type the line changes and let those words be a covenant between you and every generation on both sides of you. Let me bring you to rest because there is one final thing to do before I send you into your Thursday. Picture all the weight you have been carrying gathered into your two hands. All of it. The verdict that you were the problem. The shame of the dimming you did not cause. The exhaustion of being strong for everyone. The years you believe you lost. The hope you have been too afraid to hold. Picture it all. Heavy in your open hands. Release the belief that you were the problem. It was never true. You were the target, not the problem. Let that verdict fall from your hands now. Release the shame of the gray. You did not turn your own dial down out of weakness. A child protected itself. An adult survived. There is nothing to be ashamed of in having survived. Let it fall. Release the exhaustion of carrying everyone. You are allowed to be held. You are allowed to receive instead of only pouring out. Let it fall. Release the years you think you lost. They are being restored. Clutching them in grief only keeps your hands too full to receive what is coming. Let them fall, release the flinch, the refusal to hope so you cannot be disappointed. It has cost you far more than it ever protected. Let your hands open all the way. Let it fall. Feel your hands. They are empty now. For the first time in longer than you can remember, they are not gripping the weight. And do you notice that nothing terrible happened when you set it down? You are lighter. You are still standing. You are more yourself than you were a moment ago. Now into these open and emptied hands, receive the truest thing of all, the declaration of who you actually are. You are not the problem you were told you were. You are a chosen one whose receiver was dimmed and is being restored. You are not late. You are arriving exactly on the Kairos clock at exactly the convergence you were always moving toward. You are not too broken to come back. You are not the burden you feared you were. You are a gift whose light was hidden under a gray your hands are done carrying. You are able to receive again. You have proven it in these very minutes. And what you have done here you will do on your Thursday, and you will keep doing it as the dial comes back up. Philippians chapter 4, verses 6 and 7 say, "Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving present your requests to God. And the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus." The peace that guards, that is your protection, not your striving to stay bright. The peace of God guarding what was restored. When the heaviness tries to return and whisper that today was just a nice feeling, you are going to recognize the voice. Name it. That is the flinch. That is the old hand reaching for the old dial. Keep your setting where it was restored and refuse to turn it back down. The naming alone will loosen its grip. And over each day this week, I speak a small returning. A moment on Monday when a color reaches you that would not have reached you last week. A moment midweek when you catch yourself receiving something ordinary more fully than you have in years. Watch for them, name them. Let each one strengthen you for the next. And then Thursday, you will wake and notice what is missing before you notice anything else. The weight, the gray. It has not arrived, and the light will reach you all the way, and the first ordinary moments of that ordinary day will land in you as grace, because you will finally be able to hold them. Somewhere in that day you will be undone by the realization that nothing enormous had to happen. That the best day of your life turned out to be an ordinary Thursday received by a restored heart. That this is available to you not once, but as a new way of being for the rest of your days. As long as you keep the receiver up, you are a chosen one. Your receiver was dimmed, and it is being restored. Your best days were never behind you. They were waiting in front of you for a heart able to hold them. And that heart is coming back to life. Beginning now, completing on the appointed day. You are not late. You are not broken. You are not the problem. You are not alone. You are restored, and you are arriving. This Thursday will be the best day of your life. Receive it, chosen one. It is sealed. It is done. This is the final seal, and it belongs to you. Type 3 words in the comments right now. Type "I am restored," present tense. Not "I will be." Not "I hope to be." I am restored. Because the restoration began in this moment, with these words, with the dial beginning to turn. Your Thursday is coming. Heaven has marked this day, and your declaration seals it. Type "I am restored," and let those words be the last thing the interference has to fight against, and the first thing your Thursday will prove true.